So guys, before we get started, don't forget we do have that amazing discount code thanks to Tier 0 Games going on right now. And all you have to do is put in ZW Games 5 to get 5% discount on your total order at tier0games.com. The links will be in the description below. What's up YouTube, Darragh here from Zephyr Games. And today I'm bringing you a conversation video on Fire Fist. Now we get Fist of the Gadgets coming out on Thursday, so 2 days from now. And what I want to be talking to you guys about is, are Fire Fists currently overhyped and overpriced, or are they worth investing in? Now, if you remember, when Fire Fists first came out, they were actually quite meta. Now, the one thing that actually happened to them was, I believe it was the first instance where a card was hit on the ban list before we actually ever officially had it, and that was Fire Fist Spirit. Now, I wasn't playing around those times of Fire Fist when they first came out, so I never got to experience them at their full power and glory. I picked them up a later date just for a bit of fun to play around with. Now, obviously, the one thing I didn't pick up as much as everyone else was Fire Fist Dragons. So, I'll get onto that in a minute. I'll give you a quick breakdown of Fist of the Gadgets if you don't know already. So Fist of the Gadgets come with support for Fire Fist, they come with support for Gadgets, and they come with Archfiend support. Each of those aren't as important or as relevant as the Fire Fist. We do get nice little reprints as well for Pendulums, and we also get introductions of the Code Talkers. So the rest of the starter deck that the OCG had, we're getting in this set as well. Probably just to fill in some empty space. Maybe they could have reprinted something else in there. I don't know, maybe like a Fire Fist Dragon or a Fire Fist Horse Prince. But no, they'd rather give us a structure deck instead of... Anyway, enough of that one. So, let's start with what is actually in the Fist of the Gadgets that you're going to want to be picking up for your Fire Fist. Now, you've probably seen them floating around the internet right now, and that is, of course, the videos from Worlds where influencers and of course people that attended were given the gold slot tins and a box of Fist of the Gadget as like an early pre-release kind of turning up present, basically. Now those pre-release openings, there's not a lot to go on in the sense that that's a very, very small minority of the boxes that have been opened. However, from what we have been seeing, Fire Fist Eagle, which is the most important link monster, the link 2 that allows you to basically use your Fire Fist monster effects without paying the cost of destroying your Fire Fist continuous spells and traps, was on average about one every other box. And I believe what we were seeing is, unless on a rare occasion, you were either getting Eagle or you were getting Panda. Now Panda is the other most important card in Fist of the Gadgets for Fire Fist, and you need to play around 3 of him. He is basically, after you search him, he's a nice free summon as well, comboing off with the Link 2. Now the pre-order prices for both of those cards are going at around £20 to £30. Now the reason that's going so high is because the only ones that are currently in existence that people have their hands on are from the ones that were given out at Worlds, and if they were lucky enough to pull them. So that price is still undetermined because it is the most important card from the set, and because the set is so specific that unless you want Fire Fist, you might not want to be buying that set, because, I mean, everyone that does buy the set is going to want the Fire Fist, and all the Archfiends and the Gadgets and all the Pendulum, of course the Subterra reprints as well, they're not going to want. They're all going to be lower rarities, they're all supers, they're probably going to be going for like £1, £2 each here and there. Doesn't mean I'm not going to build Archfiends because they look amazing, even though they're really quite bad to play in pure anyway. So that's where the singles kind of... Are the singles going to be there? The singles will definitely be there for the Gadgets and the Archfiends and all the other stuff, but for the Fire Fist, because that's what everyone is chasing, that is where it's going to get difficult. Now Peacock, the other Link 2 that we get as well, isn't as important and wasn't as hard to pull. Neither was the Fusion, Ritual, or any of the new spells or traps. Secret Tenkis were interesting. They were sitting at about 1 a box on average as well, so they might be a little bit tricky to get hold of if you want a full max rarity, unless you've already got the ultis, and then you're absolutely fine. So for those ones I wouldn't worry too much. It is literally keeping an eye out for Elephant, Panda and Eagle, all in those kind of ranges of what you're looking for. So when they officially come out, I think they're going to be sitting anywhere between 20 to 30 quid each, and that's the disappointing thing. Eagle will be the 20 to maybe 25 quid because it is that important and you play 2s. Whereas Panda, you do play 3-ofs, and that's definitely going to be your big money spender at least 30 quid each when it first comes out. And it might drop down to 20 quid, but you're still looking at paying £60 for a playset of Panda, plus another 40 quid just on Eagle. So you're spending 100 quid on those cards. Now, obviously, it's a little bit cheaper than buying the boxes, but if you were to buy 2 boxes and get lucky and pull a Panda and an Eagle in each, no guarantee, but if you do, then you've made your money back straight on your boxes, or nearly made your money back on the boxes, not to mention the other 20 free secrets that you get in the box. Again, it is another one of them sets that I strongly feel that each box should contain, on average, one of every one of the secrets, because I believe there's only 20 secrets, which means you'll get 4 doubles in a box if you were to get one of everything. This is a very, very interesting thing to kind of keep in mind. Now, that is for the Fist of the Gadget box. What wasn't in the Fist of the Gadget box is to go around with your Fire Fist. Now, the most important cards that were not reprinted in Fist of the Gadgets that have only ever had 1 print each is Dragon and Horse prints. Why have they only had 1 print each when we've got a set like this that could have easily reprinted them? I don't know. Like, I'm not digging at Konami at all. It's just an odd decision. Like, it doesn't help the second-hand market. Like, it doesn't help the players at all. It only helps the second-hand market. It only helps people that have gone, I've got a Super Dragon sitting somewhere. What should I do with it? Now, before this set was announced, or before the reprints were announced, and that the Dragon wasn't in it, and Horse Prince wasn't in it, they were sitting at about £10 each. Now that we know that they're not in it, Dragons have spiked up massively. Dragons are sitting between 15 to 20 quid each. That's for a super that came out in Cosmo Blazer. Now, I get it, Cosmo Blazer is a very, very good set and hard to get hold of, but it's a super rare card that is sitting at 15 to 20 quid. That is the exact same thing as Horse Prince as well. Again, it's sitting at 15 to 20 quid. Now, there was a time in the past, I can't remember exactly what deck it was, but Horse Prince had a little bit of a spike. And at that point, you've kind of got to go, those cards might need a reprint. And surely when you go, let's give them a Fist of the Gadgets box set, and let's make all of the Fire Fist stuff secret, but we need to reprint pretty much the whole deck so everyone can play it, that's something you'd think they would consider, and unfortunately they haven't done that. So what does that mean for you guys at home? Well, what that means is to play, if you want to play Fire Fist and you didn't have the original Fire Fist set yourself, you are going to have to look around. If you wanted to play the whole deck at this moment in time, just off the top of my head, you need maybe 1, maybe 2 Horse Prints. Also didn't get the Lion XYZ either. So maybe 2 Horse Prints, that's 40 quid there. 3 Dragon definitely, because it's that important. So that's 60 quid. So that's 100 quid on 2 extra deck cards and 3 main deck cards. Which sounds very familiar. Oh yeah, this is same as the new cards. So you need 3 Panda at 60 quid, and you need 2 Eagle at 40 quid on average. So you're spending 200 quid on 10 cards. That's 10 cards out of a 60 card deck, because you need 15 of your extra deck and then you need 40 of your main deck. Now, I know the majority in the boxes are getting reprinted. You're getting a nice Rooster reprint. We're not getting a Raven reprint, but luckily that's a common, so you can pick that up for about £1. Hopefully that doesn't spike massively, because if it does and it sits at like £5 a common, it's just even more disappointing. So that's what you're looking at. You're looking at a base of 200 quid, and then if you want to play Coach Soldier Wolfbark, if you kind of want to extend further from that, you're certainly going to be looking at nearly 300 quid with the hype around Fire Fist right now. That's to get a complete deck. And the hype is justified in a sense. If you saw the combos that they produced at Worlds, you can see how powerful the Fire Fist deck can be. However, what they haven't had is Fire Fist haven't had a test against the current meta. They haven't had a test against a physical player. They haven't had a test with Ash Blossoms, Ogres, Veilers, all of that stuff that can disrupt the combo massively. I mean, straight away, if you Veiler, the Link 2, you're going to have to start paying costs. And that's where it gets a little bit tricky, and that will really, really stun the combo completely. So that's something to definitely keep in mind when going forward, and if you're trying to invest in the Fire Fist deck right now, this minute. If you wait a little bit, if it doesn't start toppling the meta, the prices will slowly start to come down, because it will go from a possible meta deck to a nice fun deck to just sitting there at a nice little price. The other issue with this is, if you actually consider it, when could they reprint Dragon and Horse Prince? If you look at all the upcoming sets, The only thing you could possibly argue is in the Indulged Devastator, which comes out in October, you could say they could put Horse Prince in there because it does include extra deck monsters. Now the chances are, in that set, you'll also get a Diguster Emerald reprint because that's just come off the ban list as well. It depends if Fire Fists are going to be that relevant for a Horse Prince reprint in that set, but no guarantees there. In regards to Dragon, when could you possibly reprint Dragon again? I mean, we've just had OTS 11 announced, so I can't see it happening anytime soon. The next one will be OTS 12, and that won't come out until at least December time. So if you want to be playing Fire Fist now, you've got a lot of digging around and a lot of searching to do just to be able to play the deck. If you already have the original Fire Fist, you're laughing because all you need to do is pick up the new stuff, which might be a little bit difficult, but if you're already sitting on your Dragons and you're sitting on your Ravens, you've got the structure that you need, and you haven't got to go out and spend double the amount of money to get the original stuff to then add in the new stuff as well. So it does give you a lot to kind of play around with and a lot to think about. I hope they do challenge the meta. It'll be great to see Fire Fist come back. It'll be great to see how powerful they are. It does make me scared a little bit that if this is what happens to Fire Fist, can we imagine what will happen to 6 Sam when they get their Link Monster? If their Link Monster is a import, just in a random set, and the Link Monster, of course, searches you out Gateway, the most powerful card in a 6 Samurai deck, and then, of course, you kind of go from there. That then makes me think, what will the price of Kizaru and Fuma, now that they're sitting at about £10 each, go up to once that Link 2 gets announced? You never know. Unless they get their own little set in next year, which can then technically argue a reprint for Fuma and Kizaru as well. So that's kind of it for the Fist of the Gadgets, and is it worth it? Is it overhyped? In my opinion, right now, the originals are overhyped. The Dragon is very, very important, and so is Horse Prince. However, it is incredibly overhyped in the sense that I do not believe that a super rare that was... I know it's from an old set, but I don't believe that a super rare should ever be allowed to hit that type of level. An old super rare should never be hitting 15, 20 quid if it's not like a prize card, if it's not like a specific kind of print, in a sense. A card like that should be thought about in an upcoming format where you go, we're about to reprint a set, we're going to reprint Gorilla, we're going to reprint Bear, which have had 101 reprints, but we're not going to reprint Dragon and Horse Prince, which have only had 1 each. So I think that's something that really needs to be considered. And the fact that they haven't had any test against meta, they haven't had any test against physical players right now, that this is all kind of speculation going forward, which usually happens with decks, but it does mean that if you were to invest heavily into this deck, you might lose out if they do not become meta. And then you do have the question, if it does become meta and it does become the #1 deck, how much higher can these cards actually go? Everyone that I know that want to play Fire Fist are going to be buying the boxes or looking for the singles. So it does mean that there might, from like retailers and stuff like that, more of the boxes might be bought in to find these new Fire Fist cards. That being said, I think they're sitting at their peak. I really do. I think 30 quid for a Panda is way above its average price than it should be. It should only be about a £20 card, and it might even drop down to that. I can't see it hitting a £40 mark or higher, and I can't see Eagle hitting a £40 mark or higher. I think that will settle at around 20 odd quid, and then as time goes on, even if it dominates the meta, it's probably going to be around 20, 25 quid. I can't see it rocketing through the roof. The exact same can be said about Dragon, and it can also be said about Horse Prince in a sense as well. Is that because they're only bit parts of the combo, they are important. However, I can't see, after the circulation's gone around, if it does become meta, the reprint might be brought in a little bit earlier. And even then, that being said, I can't see a super rare. I mean, I know Dragons, some people are trying to sell Dragons for 30 quid each. Do not buy them at 30 quid each. That's just ludicrous. It should be 15 at max. At maximum, you should pay 15 quid for a super rare. It depends how badly you want to be playing Fire Fist, but of course, if you do, and trust me, I love the deck, that's kind of what I would be saying. Do not pay any more than £15 for that card, and kind of let it happen. Like I said, if the deck becomes meta, they're not going to go rocketing high. You're not going to be paying an extra 100 quid on top of what you would be paying right now. You'll probably be paying an extra 50 quid maybe. And what it also lets you do is it lets the deck be defined a little bit more. So it might turn out that the majority of people are playing 2 Dragons, which means that everyone that's bought 3 dragon will have a spare dragon going around that they don't actually need anymore. It also might mean that people only play and run horse prints, and again, more in circulation. Eagle might be a solid 2, Panda might become a 2, anything like that. When the ratios start changing, it means there'll be more in circulation. If anything starts being full-on free play sets, then even then, that still means that there'll be more in circulation, in the sense that more people, once they've built it thinking it's going to be meta, find out that it's not tier 1, like number 1 deck, might start going, okay, it's not tier 1, it's not number 1, I've bought it for a bit of fun, I've tried my best, it's done okay, but Rockets are the number 1 deck, or Thunder Dragons are still the number 1 deck, and Fire Fist can really struggle against Thunder Dragons because they need to search some of their cards. So it really depends on how the meta kind of goes. My advice is personally, do not go overhyped with these set, or with the Fire Fist right now. If you've got them, great, sell them now. If you haven't got them, wait, then pick them up in a little bit time, because I can't see them being the number 1 deck, purely because there's easier ways to out them. Like I've just said, Veiler straight away on their Link 2 crushes the entire combo. If you go for a Thunder Dragon Colossus, again, it crushes the entire combo. They can't search half their stuff off. Their Tenkies become dead. And then you've also got all the other cards. Some of them do set stuff from deck, that's absolutely fine. But all the other cards that start searching, when you need to search a Panda to get your combo going or anything like that, it starts crumbling down under one Colossus walk-in floodgate. So that's something to keep in mind, and do not overhype it, or do not overpay for it right now, is my personal opinion. Anyway, I will be bringing you profiles for Archfiends. I will bring you profiles, or Donald will bring you a profile for the gadgets, and I'll also bring you a profile and test hands for Fire Fist as well, just so you can see the combo that's already out there, and then the Fire Fist as a consistency basis as well. And the Archfiends, again, the artwork looks stunning. It's a shame the deck actual play does not live up to the artwork itself. Anyway, I hope you like this video. I hope it gave you a bit more of an insight into the Fire Fist. And it also gives you a bit more of an insight into Fists of the Gadgets. If you're looking for something specific from that set, just wait for it. I mean, the Subterrors will not be high value. They'll all be, because so many people, like I said, will be buying it for the Fire Fist, all that stuff will be surplus to requirements, which means supply and demand. There'll be more supply for the demand of those cards. It's a Fire Fist stuff that if you do pull at your locals, if you just randomly buy a pack and say, I'm not really too fast, I'm just going to buy a pack for the sake of it. If you pull Eagle or Panda, know that you're sitting on a little bit of money right now. Flog it, you've probably made 10 times the amount that you've paid for that pack as well. Or of course trade it off for exactly what you need. Anyway, hope this helps. Please help us get to that 15,000 subscriber mark. We are slowly closing in on that. We are about 2,700-ish away. So keep hitting that subscribe button, keep hitting that notification bell, because you do not want to miss out on anything. If there are any type of videos that you guys at home would like to see, whether it be a discussion, test hands, deck profile, anything like that, then please let me know. I'll be more than happy to do it for you. Also, we have Joe, Donald, Carl, and even Rob as well, who can be bringing you videos as well on their own specific areas, and we can kind of bring you anything you guys want. So, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And until next time, guys, as always, happy dueling. What's up, YouTube? Dan here from YUGIOH. Thanks for watching that video. If you liked it, please hit that big thumbs up button in the bottom corner as well. And don't forget to hit the big red subscribe button so you don't miss out on anything. Make sure you click that notification bell as well so you know every time one of our new videos goes up. Throughout the whole year of 2019, we're going to have more deck profiles, duels, and of course pack openings for you guys to watch and enjoy the entire year round. So stay tuned for more, and as always guys, happy dueling.